What's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Gamerverse Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure Wave Kang. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this, starting off with the packaging. As always, you are able to see Kang the Conqueror right there. You can see some of the accessories that he comes with. On the side of the box, we get some really awesome looking Kang artwork. And then on the back of the box, we get a look at all the other figures that it takes to build Joe Fixit. And then we get a shot of Kang the Conqueror himself, and then we do have a very small biography of the character, and that's about it for the packaging. Just like all Marvel Legends boxes, it is collector friendly. But enough about the box, let's go ahead and rip Kang out and take a look. So here we have Kang right out of the box, and man, Hasbro really outdid themselves with this figure. They did such an incredible job. I am really impressed, and that's coming from somebody that didn't really feel like I needed a new Kang figure, because I was pretty happy with the one that Hasbro put out a couple of years ago. It's one of the few figures that I thought still held up, but now seeing him next to this new Kang, I see that I was completely mistaken. As you can see, this new Kang makes this old one look like complete garbage, and I like this figure. I thought he was really cool. I was very happy to have this guy in my collection. I know that he got pretty rare for a while there, and I just felt fortunate that I was able to snag him. But now, he's basically trash, because this new one, it just blows this thing out of the water. It's not even like a comparison. This old one is trash now. I hate to say it, but this new one, man, I just cannot believe what an incredible job they did on it. The whole thing is a completely brand new sculpt. There's all kinds of really nice texture on him, and we'll get in close and take a look at all the great details on this figure. But yeah, it's just really impressive. And one thing I love about this figure is the fact that he has like the pinless technology, and they did it all the way through. As you can see, the arms do not have any pins. Yeah, he does have a single jointed elbow, so it's maybe not as impressive as it would be on a double jointed elbow, but still, he doesn't have the pins there, and then he doesn't have the pins on the legs, which is really nice. Because lately, Hasbro's been doing the pinless thing more and more often, but with a lot of their recent figures, it seems like they'll do the pinless thing on the arms, but not the legs. Or the legs, but not the arms, you know? So it's kind of weird. Thankfully on Kang, they went all out with it. Someone over there must be like a huge Kang fan, because they put a lot of love into this figure. And then taking a closer look at the details on Kang, they really did an incredible job with the sculpting work on this guy. I love the way the face looks with that dark shade of blue, and then we have the light blue lines over the eyes. And I really like the way that the head thing, or like the headdress or mask or helmet, whatever you want to call it, actually looks like a separate piece. It looks like a dude wearing something on his head. It's not like flat. You can see here that the mask thing actually looks like a separate sculpted piece. So that is really dope. And look at that, it just looks perfect, man. Got the white eyes. It looks awesome. And then the head has some sculpting work on it. And then moving down into the body, this is really impressive too. Look at all the texture on Kang's suit. Now they did something very similar to this on the Doctor Doom figure, but that's Doctor Doom, you know. Everybody knows who he is. He's a big character. Kang is not as popular as Doctor Doom, but they still went all out on him, and that is super cool. We've got the purple right here. That all looks nice. Yeah, look at that texture. And then the arms do look a little different. They do look a little smoother, but we do still have some sculpted wrinkles in there. And even though the texture is a little different, it still blends in very well with each other. So overall, it looks really nice. And moving down here, we've got his like belt thing that looks really cool. It's very blocky and old school looking, so I love that. Down here we have a lot more texture work that looks nice. Same thing in the front here. The paint misses a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. And moving down into the legs here, these lines are sculpted, so that's awesome. They're sculpted all the way down the leg, and look, no pins. Sweet. And then even his feet have the sculpted lines on them. So it seems to me like every single part of this figure is new. Maybe the hands are reuse. Let's see, is there any sculpting work? No sculpting work on the hands, so maybe they are reuse. But aside from that, every single thing on this figure is brand new. So yeah, they really did a nice job on the sculpting work on Kang. And then for accessories, Kang does come with the right leg to build Joe Fixit, but in addition to that, he also comes with some other cool things. He does come with two different sets of hands. First off, we have a pair of fists, and then we have a set of open hands, and then he has one single left gun gripping hand, and then he could use that to hold onto his gun, which he does come with one really cool looking blaster. And then taking a closer look at his weapon, I do think this is a pretty nice looking gun for Kang. It does kind of have like a futuristic kind of vibe to it, so it's fitting for the character, and there's some pretty nice sculpted details on there. And then now for some size comparisons, we have Kang alongside a couple of classic Avengers characters. On the left we have the Marvel Legends Vision, and on the right we have the Marvel Legends Wonder Man. And those two characters always make me think of Kang because of that story when he like took over the country. And there was this really awesome issue of Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch kind of discussing their relationship, talking about Vision and all that. But that really makes me think of Kang. But anyways, here we have Kang alongside the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Captain America and the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Iron Man. And he looks awesome next to them. I like how he looks a little short and not huge and massive and intimidating. He's kind of small, but he's still like one of the most badass villains. That's one thing I really love about Kang. And then of course we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And then next we have him alongside a couple of my favorite villains. Here we have the Marvel Legends Doctor Doom. And then right here we have the Marvel Select Ultron. There we go. And to finish off the size comparisons, we will have Kang alongside a couple of other much needed Avengers characters that we recently got, and that would be the Marvel Legends Jocasta from the Joe Fixit Build-A-Figure wave, and then the Marvel Legends Thunderstrike from the same wave. So it's so cool to get Thunderstrike and Jocasta. I'm really excited to review them, and you know, having Kang and just all this classic Avengers goodness really makes me happy. So good stuff there. And then now for the articulation on Kang. He's not the most articulated Marvel Legends figure ever, but he does have a lot of good stuff going on, and I do think it's more than enough for a character like Kang. And I was excited to check this out because it's a completely new sculpt, and it's always interesting to see how they do things with the character that has such a unique design like Kang. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, the head does move side to side, and it does have a little bit of tilt to it, but not much. There we go. Yeah, not too much. He could look up to about right there, which was pretty impressive. I didn't think that his head would look up that high because of the shape of the head. You know, it's kind of weird. And then he could look down to right there because he's got like a ball hinge, and you could just kind of shift his head around as you need it. But he could look down a good amount, so that's pretty good. And then the torso, that's where I was really curious. So he does have a torso joint very similar to the Doctor Doom figure. So he does have a ball joint at the waist. Could go side to about right there. Move it to the side to right there. So it's not too bad. You can move it back to about right there. And I like how you could push it all the way back and there's still no breaks right here. I mean, you could see how it was starting to have a gap there when I was pushing it. But, you know, when you just leave it there, that's as far back as it goes with no gaps in the front. So that's dope. And then it could crunch forward to right there, which is not a whole lot, but, you know, like I said, it's perfectly fine for Kang. And then he does have a waist swivel. For the arms, they do go all the way around, but the design of his shirt kind of gets in the way. But look at that. I like how all that kind of blends together. Can't even really see the break. Man, this is really one of Hasbro's best figures of the year. They killed it on this thing. Anyways, the arms do go all the way around. They do come out to the side. He does not have any upper bicep swivel, which might be disappointing to some people, but I'm okay with it. They do have the swivel at the elbow. That's pretty much just as good in this case, because if he had the upper bicep swivel, his clothes would kind of get in the way anyways. So I think you're able to achieve what you'd be able to no matter what with the setup that we have here. So there you go. And as I said, he does have a single jointed elbow with the swivel. And the elbows bend to about right there, which is a little bit more than 90. But again, you know, if you had the double jointed elbows, there would have to be less detail on the sculpt. They couldn't give all this puffiness and double jointed elbows, you know. But yeah, I'm fine with it. It looks really good. Look at all those like creases and stuff. Really makes it all look very natural. And then at the hand, we have a swivel and a hinge. And then the trigger finger hand has a swivel and then the vertical hinge. There you go. And then for the legs, his legs do come out to the side to about right there. He does have his little, what is this called, like a tunic or like the extension of his shirt or whatever. It doesn't really get in the way too much. Even going forward, it doesn't get in the way, so his legs could kick forward to about right there. Kick back to about right there. Let's see. Oh, okay. He does have an upper thigh swivel. I got scared for a second. I thought maybe they didn't put it in there. I would have started crying. But yeah, he does have the upper thigh swivel. He does have double jointed knees to get a nice bend. And then at the foot, they could go forward to about right there. And then they could come up to right there. So yeah, like I said, decent articulation. Definitely enough for a character like Kang. Guys, so overall, I absolutely love this figure. I think that Hasbro did an incredible job with it, and I'm just really impressed with the amount of love this figure has put into it. All the sculpted detail, all the texture on the costume, the pinless joints, the beautiful colors, everything about it is just pretty much perfect, and I can't really think of anything that I dislike about this figure. You know, something like, I guess they could have thrown in more accessories or whatever. You know, there's always something you could point out and complain about, but as far as I'm concerned, this figure is pretty much the perfect Kang the Conqueror, and I just love it. Hasbro did such a great job. I'm like blown away by this figure. Because Hasbro, it's like sometimes they do some things and it's like, oh man, what are they thinking? This isn't very good. And then next thing you know, they turn around and give us something like this. This is like, has to be one of the best Hasbro figures ever. This thing is just insane. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hyped up because it's new and I'm just impressed with the new sculpt. I don't know what it is, but I am absolutely loving this thing. Look at it, man. It's ridiculous. It's like the perfect Kang figure. That's really all I could say. Hasbro really outdid themselves, and I'm very happy to have this figure. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything you see on this figure that could have been done better. I'm curious what people think, you know. I'm sure people could always pick things out or whatever, but I want to hear anything legitimately. Is there anything that Hasbro could have done on this figure to make this thing better? Let me know in the comments. And I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time I go live. That's it. Thank you very much. Peace.